Hi guys, this is James from Northeast Guys, doing a quick deck profile on Hatchhyak. So to get straight into it, we have this leader. Basically, it has a permanent where you can only play black battle cards, and obviously this side of the leader can't attack. I don't have to say much about it because you probably all know, because everyone's bitching on about it, that it's basically a built-in Nimbus, so you can't go too wide, which is great for the deck, but your opponent's just going to sit there bored. Its activate main is once per turn you can place a top card of your deck under this card. You mill one and then you get to draw. And its awakening conditions is if you have all black energy, you can choose 3 cards under the leader, send it to the drop area, then draw and flip it over. And then you flip over into this bad lad. And it's basically the same permanent, you can only play black battle cards. But it has the same auto, so basically a built-in Nimbus for anything that's 7 or less. It's worth mentioning that the way the sort of ruling is, if you attack with say something higher than a 7, then you can't then attack with something 7 or less. So always make sure that you attack with something 7 or less if you're going to go for game or go for any higher attacks. Its second auto is against 5k and it draws when it swings. It's a mint leader. I really love it. A lot of people are playing it defensively, but I don't play it too defensive. Played testing it last night. I don't think it was too much of a drag for everyone I played. Right, so basically I play 2 1-drop Kid Gogus. I think this deck really needs to have like a shuffling mechanic. So the best way to do it is to basically search for the 4-star balls. Anything you've just put on that with your Ghost Warriors gets shuffled back into the deck, and then you can sort of, be optimum to see them again. I only play 2 of the 1-drop blockers. I'm a bit mixed feelings about this card. 1k 1-drop blocker, yeah, great. Auto when it's KO'd, it gets to bring out a Ghost Warrior. The only one you kind of really want to hit on the defense is the Cooler, but I'll talk about that a bit later on because it is by far the best Ghost Warrior. And that's it for 1-drops. For 2-drops, I play 2 Full Mission Accomplished. Basically, this lets me get anything back from the drop that I want, as long as it's 7 or less. If it's in the drop area, I can activate main, tap 2, send this card to the warp, or remove it from the game, and then just grab a battle card that's 7 or less back to my hand. That could be super combos, any Hatchhyak pieces, or just anything that I need. So it's really consistent that way. For super combos, I just do a 2-2 split at the minute because I don't have 2 more of these files. So I just do 2 Roshis. Why not? I think I always say in every deck profile I prefer the 4 or less life ones, and because I'm not defensive, well, it's not a particularly defensive build, I don't mind getting myself down to 4 life. I deal with that in other ways, and that'll be it for 2s. And the main bulk of the deck is 3s or more, anywhere between 3 and 7, because if you run too many 1-drops, too many 2-drops, too many extras for that fact, the deck just isn't consistent, where the numbers that I play at the minute seem to be the most consistent. So we're going to the 3-drops. I play 3 of the blockers. Again, I only play 3. I see a lot of people playing 4, but tap 2 for a blocker that doesn't have barrier or anything like that, and doesn't actually do anything but mill with the 2. That's the only sort of effect that I'd use it for, to be honest. One of my favourites in the deck I play a 4 of is the Defender Kawasu. This can get you essentially sparking by turn 1. You play it for 1 because your leader is a black machine mutant. You basically play it. You can swing in a 5k if you really must, but then it's activate main as burst 1 and then send itself to the drop area and draw. So that's 3 cards going in off it already. And it's just pretty consistent, and because it's a 1-drop for you with a 3-drop in the drop area, it fuels that 3 or more cost. I play a Crisis Crusher. Basically, I don't want my opponent self-awakening, and a lot of the self-awakening cards these days are one-drops that can swing for double strikes and crits. Well, I don't want them to do that, so do play 2 Crisis. And it pops one-drops at the same time. What I can also play is the Deadly Defenders. I play 3 of them. Consistently, always going to see one. I don't think I've struggled not to see one. And again, it is a mill target, and if I do hope to see one at some point in the game, then I just shuffle the deck with the 1-drop Gogu and then try and get it back to hand. That'll be the 3s. Now on the 4-drops. You play the main guy, which is the Hatchhyak himself, or Hatchhyak as everyone seems to be calling them because it's a bit funnier. So yeah, I play 4. So this has the same effect as the Ghost Warriors. You get to play it for free, well, not for free, but for no energy, by sending 3 battle cards between 3 and 7 back to the bottom of your deck, and then it's a tap 4, and it gets to play the bigger Hatchhyak from the drop area. It's awesome. I love it. I play for Ghost Warriors. I play 3 Cooler. I have been pondering making this a 4, simply because the same activate main for playing it, but it's an activate battle. You can place it in the owner's drop area and choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets -10 for the 10k for the duration of the turn. Now, what's good about this is you can swing with it, leave it in rest mode, but if it gets attacked, or or if your later still gets attacked, it's in rest mode, but it's essentially a free 10k combo for a battle card against a battle card that doesn't have barrier. Now you cannot really fault how good that is. And also it can just, if they swing with leader first, and you have multiple of these on the field and you know their threat doesn't have barrier, you can just -10, stop their attack straight on. I'm going to play 2 Slug. Again, with a lot of arrival play at the minute, they can get higher costs out than what their energy actually is, or with baby or stuff like this. And if they don't apply the barrier, which I don't believe any of the new ones have, unless they use strategies, this will just get rid of it, and it sends it to the warp, so always good. And at the moment I'm playing 1 Turles. Only a sort of good matchup I can see that being against is a Shenron, and there's only the one that's around at the minute. And to be fair, if I see a Path to Greatness in their drop, I'll warp it. That's the only sort of target that a Shenron deck can have these days. Other than that, you could be Green Beerus, or I don't know. There's not many targets I can think of anyway. So I was thinking about removing the Turles and making the Coolad 4. But it does count towards a bit of tech that I do side in as well. So that's 4 drops. For 5s, which is quite a few, I play 3 of the promos. Again, if you see this starting hand, activate main for free, place it in the drop, burst 2. If fuels your Ghost Warriors, it fuels your Spark, and if you really need it at that point, which you probably won't. But yeah, it's a consistent way of sort of making sure you've got cards in the drop. And it's also, once it's in the drop, you can activate main for 3. It's the same effect as most of the cards in this deck, is put 3 under between 3 and 7, and you get to play it. And its auto is once per turn you can attack active, not active. When this card attacks a battle card, you can switch it to active mode. So it's a pretty good board clearance for threats that you don't want to see, or it's just a 25k beater if you want to go for lead. Now for the big lads, yes, I have 4. This card I just fell in love with yesterday. Basically, from the 4-drop, you can tap 4, get this out, or just pay 5 for it. It doesn't really matter either way. Its permanent is that once it hits the field, it's an 8-drop, so it gets around a lot of the stuff like the Piccolo at the minute, which we found out, which was a bit annoying to Kashi. Sorry, Kashi, but we found out at least Piccolo couldn't kill this card. And and it just gets a lot of the rival stuff that can come in and KO stuff like that as well. And the new Kamehameha Final Flash card, I think that came out in the Miraculous Edition or whatever it's called. But yeah, so it gets around all of them, and then it has a built-in negate if a battle card swings, which is always good. And it's active at main as once per turn. You can choose 3 black battle cards between 3 and 7 in your drop area, put them at the bottom of your deck, and choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and send it to its warp. No, I don't really use that too much, but I played the new Gogeta deck with the 8-drop, which evolves onto that new multi 6, and I know that 8-drop can't be KO'd, but you know, this guy just warps it, and it's awesome. And it's also dual attack, before I don't mention that. For going for game with this card, I thought, well, it's only single strike, and I don't want to run the risk of running Champer. So what I thought of was running 2 of these, 2 5-drop Shenrons. You're 9 times out of 10 always going to have the sparking for it. You turn 4, you're going to be playing this. Turn 5, if it stays on the board, awesome. But yeah, turn 5 would be to play this, sparking 7, draw 2 cards, choose this, give it 15k and triple strike. Turn 5, you're going to have probably at least 4 to 5 life, judging on how the games have been going recently. And you're going to hit them for a dual attack triple strike on turn 5. That's going to make them either lose, which it did once, or it's going to make them drop their entire hand or waste their negates. But by that time, if they're wasting 2 negates, the chances are slim that they're going to be having more than 4 in the deck, so you know that's 2 gone if they haven't already negated anymore. So next turn, you can be tapped out of 5, but you know, unless it's baby deck sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, it's just everything. But yeah, if you tapped out with 5 energy, you kind of can comfortably say that you're going to be safe if you have Deadly Defender on the field and you've swung with that first before doing this combo, or you have a couple of negates in hand and the sparking negates. It's quite a safe play to do. And if when you're going for game for next turn, if you haven't already finished it on turn 5, you still have this other threat. If you have another one of these, great, give it another triple, or give your leader triple. And also this card, bar the Fresh Daily Paladin and Code Bloodlust, I don't think any other battle cards actually affect this. Any of the new counterplay cards, because it's 25k, so max speed can't kill it. Denial doesn't touch it. It's a 5 cost, so preemptive, and you're wide open, don't touch it. Champa puts it in rest mode, big deal. Vegeta the Cruel can't thingy, and Gohan can't bounce it back to hand. So it was like the safest play I could think of to give this as much power and as make it much a threat as possible. And it won 3 games for us yesterday, so you've seen it here first. But yeah, but if all else fails and you manage to go to 6, you still have this on field. You can more than likely get the other 5-drop promo from field. If you have one of these, great, give it another thingy. But then if you do see the other negates, just play 1 Mira just to finish the game with double strike. It's a 1 cost 7. You get a draw and you get to untap. It's awesome. And that is the main deck of battle cards. Quickly go over the extra cards. So I play 2 4-stars just to keep recycling the deck, keep shuffling in, and it's also a one drop a 5k free combo piece for anything I need to. And also an Android 18 player kept giving the tokens to us, so when it was awakened I kept swinging with the tokens, applying this 10k. Great, I'll take your tokens all day, especially with the sided in Black Mass saying they did not enjoy that game. I play 2 Ultimate Blow. It's a counterplay, so usually it's combined with Deadly Defender, but if I'm playing a red-yellow deck, and I've suspected, or if I've seen anywhere there the 5-drop Beerus, what I'll do is I'll swing the Hatchhyak. They'll rival in the Beavers to try and KO it. So what you can do is leave one energy open. When you declare the arrival, you play this, give Hatchhyak 10k. They now can't KO that Hatchhyak, and it now does nothing for them. And the standard 4 power bursts for the negates. So I'll quickly do that. I'll quickly go over the side and just a couple of tech choices. So 2 black mass in. It's primarily for the token spam and any other cards that it's just really good for. I play 2 Ghost Warriors for any decks that really want to rely on extending players. It shuts it down to an extent. A lot of people are bitching on about the card being broken. I don't think it's broken. A lot of people just play around it. I play 1 Kami, mainly because although the game's never really went to time. Well, it went once to time, and my opponents tried to just build the board of blockers and just like make sure that their life was safe. Well, Kami just got rid of all of them, and then I went for game. I play 2 Gravy in Demiurge's Thrall. Main reason for siding this is if the Hatchhyak gets killed, it doesn't matter, it's in the drop area, except from your hand, it's exactly where you want it. But if it gets warped, in this build anyway, it might as well be out the game. So if I know they're playing a warp heavy deck, I'll play Gravy, I'll side it in, and I can at least get the Hatchhaks back in the drop area. It's just a bit of a safety net. For the ramp decks, I play 2 Force Ejection Mass in. The Android 16 card is getting played a lot in the ramp. This way I'd probably hardcast it for 3 and just keep it on the board as long as I can, activating main each time. A little bit of tech for the Saiyan heavy decks would be 2 Black Mass Saiyans, the Devastators. Although I've never really found that I've needed to use this card yet, I quite like the threat that it does possess, so I'm just going to keep it in. For 1 times Judgment, it's more of a late game negate if they have dual attackers and you have a bit of a hand and some energy open. Instead of power bursts, I'd swap it in for 1 times Judgment, and it's just a negate. If you drop 2, it would come back to hand. And it's also, if you needs be, if you somehow haven't really done your math and there's not enough 4s and 7s in the drop to activate your next turn abilities, use Timeless Judgment, drop 2, easiest way. I play 1 Remote Serious Bomb, just because the card's awesome, and if I don't have 3s and 7s in the drop for the Hatchhyak, I'll force them to do that, or I'll just simply play that, let them think that other one's safe, and then just use that the Hatchhyak effect. And then the last tech is the Super Kamehameha, and thank God Black has a half decent counterplay. It did actually save us in one of the games, and my opponent didn't like it. So, but yeah, that's the deck. This has been Northeast Kai's. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Cheers.